two, one. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Two Butts Movie Reviews. I'm Tyler,
And I'm Sam.
and we're
We're
Two
two
Butts.
buds. And yeah, we're gonna review some movies and maybe one day we'll get that intro right.
Yeah. So this week, last week, Sam chose The Midnight Sky with George Clooney with a beard. And this week,
Yeah,
I chose the new Tom and Jerry film, Tom and
on
Jerry, the
HBO
movie,
Max.
on HBO Max.
It's in quotes in theaters
It's in
until the
some
end of
theaters, just
March.
not where we live.
Well, yeah, but in states that are open.
All right, and it is directed by Tim Story, and I don't know who that is. And
Thanks, Tim.
the story is by it's like the Hanna-Barbera. It's by the Tom and Jerry people.
Yep,
By the Tom and
yep,
Jerry people. And it stars Tom and Jerry, the animated cat and the animated mouse, and it
yep.
stars Chloe Grace
If you,
Moretz. I think that's how you say her
uh,
name. I love her. She's so cute.
yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff. And
Yeah, she's been
I know I apologized last time, but I fucking mispronounced some names and I'm sorry. Like last
it's
time when it was
okay.
my movie, I
It's really
mispronounced some names.
and she's our age too. She's 24.
She's a little younger than us.
A little bit. A little bit.
Mhm.
And it's starring that other guy, Michael Pena, who's in like every movie that
I love that dude. He was a really good heel, like a really good bad guy. Well, not a bad guy, but he
isn't
was
even
like
really a
definitely
bad guy. Um,
he was against the main character, otherwise known as a
right,
heel in
right,
wrestling.
right.
Yeah.
And then it stars a bunch of other people that don't really matter.
No, they matter. Come on. Everybody
Yeah.
matters.
Well,
Don't
yeah.
say that.
It stars a bunch of other people that you don't know who they are.
Well, not everybody matters. Most people do.
Except
I'm
maybe
not
that
going to name the
husband
people I
guy.
don't
I've
think
seen him in
matter.
like one movie, but I don't know what it was.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm ready to get into this.
All
The
right,
first
we're
thing I
getting
want to
into
say
this. So
The
Tom
first
and
thing I
Jerry.
want to say, dude, okay, the soundtrack though, that was amazing.
I was
It was
gonna say
so
the
good.
same thing.
Yeah, it works so well. I don't know, like I think hip hop is much better than the old Tom and Jerry's when it was like that classical music. It was cool, but this was much better. I don't know. I liked it
Right.
a lot.
Okay. So well, pretty much everyone knows Tom and Jerry. If you don't know who Tom and
If you
Jerry
don't
is,
know Tom and Jerry,
you're
go
probably
figure
not
it
even
out.
watching this video if you don't know who Tom and Jerry are.
And also, you've been living under a rock. Like, come on, go
Yeah,
figure out
but
who Tom and Jerry are.
yeah, or you're like 5 years old. Um.
But even if you're 5, you should know who Tom and Jerry. Anyway, let's keep going.
Anyway, so Tom and Jerry like moved to New York for like a new beginning or something, and then they run in. The synopsis is very simple. It's very simple. They run
Hmm.
in to this girl, and her played by Chloe. They're like chasing after each other in like the city of New York, and they run into this
And
girl named
in Central Park, yeah.
yeah in Central Park, and they run into this girl Chloe Grace Moretz, who is her name is Kayla Forrester in the movie,
Yeah,
and
she's on a bike and like
she's on a
Tom
bike,
run. Yeah.
and then she's like this young girl who's trying to like find a job in New York, and she doesn't have
Make her way to New York, yeah. And then she loses the job because of Tom, because he knocks over all of the clothes that she was carrying. It was kind of unclear what job she had
right. She
at
does like
first,
odd, random, weird jobs. I don't know, but then
She lost the job because of Tom.
yeah, because of Tom the cat
Well, and Jerry. I mean, it's
and Jerry.
Jerry's fault too. Jerry's always kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So then she goes to the hotel, this schmancy hotel near Central Park,
Yep.
and she's been, as the doorman reveals, she's been stealing food, or not steal, like she's been getting the free food in the lobby for a while. And so like when she walks in, the doorman's like, "Oh, going to get some free food," and she's like, "I guess so,"
She's
or
like,
whatever. She just kind of smiles, and then she walks in, and she encounters this very well dressed lady who's clearly there for some sort of interview. She has a bag next to her, and she pretends that she's the interviewer. Yeah, Kayla, the character Kayla, pretends she's the interviewer, and then she's like, "All right, you're rejected, but I'm going to keep your resume." And then she tears off the name of the real person on the resume, and then she applies for the job that the other woman was applying for.
with her
And then
resume.
yeah, with this stolen resume. Um, yeah,
And then
and
basically they do that, and she gets a job.
And the
Because like
job is to be a temporary worker for a big wedding at the hotel for like
yeah, like
these
wedding
New York
event,
influencer
yeah, like
people.
hotel event or whatever. And she gets hired, and then basically, um, Tom and Jerry like make their home at the hotel. They like start living there, and then the hotel management finds out there's a mouse, and it's
That's
Jerry.
not
Like,
true. That's not
what?
true, dude. You're like that's not what happened. Sorry.
What
I hate to be
happened?
that guy. But like Jerry got in and then Tom was stuck outside and then
Oh
Tom
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
makes a bunch of attempts to get in. It's very funny.
yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of gags. And one thing I really appreciated about the movie is that they like all most of the gags were from previous episodes, especially that piano bit I really noticed. And then like like when they get the lump on the head and then Tom pushes it down and then it goes back up.
Yeah,
That was from an
yeah.
old episode.
I mean, you
So
definitely, yeah,
Jerry's inside the hotel. Tom's trying to get in. He finally gets in, and then once he gets in, the character Kayla is already looking for Jerry, and then Kayla encounters Tom in a room, and it looks like Tom just completely destroyed the room, but really it was him and Jerry chasing, or Tom chasing Jerry, and Jerry just kind of being, um, he just like a younger brother kind of. He's like, haha, I'm away. I'll beat you. And then Kayla enlists Tom to help her find Jerry before this big wedding because they can't have a mouse in this really schmancy hotel,
yeah.
or else, as the
Well, they,
manager guy said,
yeah.
they might release it to Twitter book or whatever.
And
I think that's
you
what
know
he
what I
said.
thought was funny? Just like the dumb like general manager who was like really goofy and like nice.
Mustached guy.
He's like, yeah, we can hire a cat. I don't know. I just thought that was really funny. And then they were like, yeah, we got to
Yeah,
worry about like the repercussions of like fair employment or whatever. I don't know. I thought
yeah,
that
yeah.
was goofy.
We don't want PETA to like come and attack us for being a cat exclusive establishment or something. I think yeah,
Yeah, no
I thought that was
cats are
kind
allowed
of
to work here. I thought that was super funny. And he had a couple other moments in the
okay.
that were like that.
Dude, you know who you forget to mention. You know who the actor you forgot to mention, who's
Who?
like Ken Jeong is
Oh yeah, yeah. Ken
he's the
Jeong from The
chef.
Hangover is the chef.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, and Community. Yeah, yeah. He's like yeah. It's kind of funny to see him in a role where he can't swear because he's just
Yep.
always been in a role where he's just like swearing. But
Starts like,
he plays a
"Ah."
really good angry chef.
Yeah, he
Um,
does. He does.
so like Kayla is lying to everybody at the hotel that she's somebody else, right? And then she meets this cute bartender man, and she's like, "Hey, cute bartender man, I
Yeah,
like your shoes." And this is like the B story as it's called. Like this is her love interest. And so
sort of.
eventually, I mean,
Like
come on.
G-rated love interest.
It's
P
still a B story. Like she still
PG. Yeah, P.
clearly
Yeah,
has affection for him.
yeah, for sure.
Um, okay, so like we're now we're getting into spoiler time. So if you want to go watch the movie, go watch the movie. I
Spoiler
think it's a great movie.
time. We don't need to we don't
We
need to
both
like
loved it.
summarize so much. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like go watch the movie and then you can like we're just gonna talk about it. But
Basically,
like let's just move a little bit.
can I just say, yeah, let's move on.
She well she like hit her like Tom apparently catches Jerry, right? And then
Right.
she's like, "Oh, we caught him. He's out." And then of course Jerry makes it back and then it's this big kerfuffle and Michael Pena, is that the guy's name?
Yeah, Michael
The
Pena,
other like the
the manager guy.
Michael Pena is like, no, he's like the mouse was here, and then the top manager guy's like, nah, Michael Pena, you're suspended because you caused all this damage, and Kayla just kind of goes along with it, and then it looks like she's gonna pull off the wedding, and then obviously Jerry and Tom and the dog. What's the dog's name? What's the dog's name?
What is the dog's
I need to
name?
figure that out.
The dog's name is Spike. I looked it up.
Okay, Spike.
Spike the
Okay,
dog.
so Tom, Jerry, and Spike, they're in like their animal tornado, as Michael Pena calls it, which is really apt. I think it's an appropriate name. And there's some elephants too.
Why is
Let's
it
talk about these elephants,
inappropriate?
man.
Why is it
What?
inappropriate?
I didn't say inappropriate.
Oh, what'd you
I
say?
said I said apt,
Oh, well,
which
never
is
mind.
I said it's an appropriate term.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Apt means like it's defining it well,
I thought
but
you said Never
uh,
mind. I know what apt means.
no. So yeah, they're like at the wedding, like everything goes up in flames, and then Kayla has to come clean that like she's not this person, and then that's like rock bottom or whatever,
Rock
you know.
bottom. In every kid's movie, there's like a 5 minute rock bottom.
I think in every like most movies,
Most, yeah,
there's
but
a low
like
point.
it's always like pronounced in these like children's movies. It's like
Of course,
now it's a sad time.
yeah, and especially because like in the next 15 minutes, everything is happy again, you know.
Yeah,
Like it's like,
it's always in like
woo,
the last 25 minutes of the movie. They're like the main protagonist is like, oh no.
I messed up. I need to
And
think
that,
about myself.
but then
Character
basically Tom and
development.
Jerry, because they're smart animated animal creatures, they're like, oh, we actually messed this wedding up. And then they go and they like run into cute bartender boy and what's her name? Kayla,
Kayla.
like in New York in the city, and they're like, sorry, and they act out like what she should do. And basically they save the day and the wedding's good in a different venue. Anyways,
Yeah. Let's talk about
let's just
the
talk
bride and
about the
groom to
movie
be,
now.
because I have a lot of shade to throw at the both of them. Actually, just the guy. Like, come on. He's
What?
like, who brings elephants to New York City? I know that it was just an excuse to have a bunch of animated animals, but like, I was like, what are you doing? And it like, I understand that we
And
needed
the
those elephants
tiger.
because those. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, come on, man. Like, and she's like, the whole time the wife is like, or the wife to be is like, hey, I don't want this wedding to be too crazy. Could you tone it down a little bit? And he's like, we're all good. And then he just keeps going. And then, so Tom and Jerry definitely mess up the wedding. But then once it's already messed up, the first wedding, um, the bride is like, hey, I don't want to get married anymore. Screw, like, I don't
Yeah.
like, you're too much. You're too extra.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and so then
Okay.
they have a smaller wedding in Central Park. I
Yeah.
don't think, dude. Honestly, I'm sorry.
I
Like,
don't think we need to summarize as much as we are.
yeah, I don't think we. Yeah, I think next time we shouldn't. Like, we don't need to do that.
I think we
It's
should
kind
just
of
talk about
unnecessary.
the movie. Like that's it.
I agree. I'm
And like
sorry.
at the
We're figuring it
beginning,
out.
we're figuring it out. But at the beginning, we should just be like, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this,
Yep.
warning you
And then
now. And then
just
just
go in no
go.
particular order. Yeah, I feel ya.
And like we can, yeah, I don't
I
know.
agree.
Because it'd be more fun other than just to like talk about it rather than like going through
Yeah,
each plot
yeah.
point of especially
I
of a
agree
movie
with
like
you.
especially a movie like this.
Tom and Jerry. Yeah, like what are we doing? What are we doing? I apologize, everybody. We're
Anyways,
figuring it.
let me tell you what I thought about it. Basically, it's kind of exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It's just like Tom and I think Sam liked it more than I did, but he also watched a lot more Tom and Jerry than I did when he was a child.
That was my jam, dude. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me? It's like
exactly.
Scooby Doo and Tom and Jerry back to
See, for
back
me, it was like I didn't.
every
It
day.
was mostly Scooby Doo, and like
That's fair. I mean, it was mostly Scooby Doo for me too, but it was Scooby Doo and Tom and Jerry. That was like, that was the sweet spot.
yeah,
And then I got into anime, and then that was a whole nother rabbit hole. You know?
yeah. But basically, it's Tom and Jerry running around a hotel with cute Chloe Grace Moretz, like running around, like trying to
Yep. Like try and on it. I loved how like, at first when she understood them, I was like, this is dumb. But then I was like, this is cool. Eventually, I was like,
yeah,
I'm cool with it.
yeah.
If one of them said one word though, I was gonna get heated. I was gonna be like, nope, I'm out. I would have
Other than
stopped it.
like Tom singing, because he done that before.
But that happens in
Yeah,
no, that
yeah,
happens. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Also, one thing that I didn't like, another thing that wasn't true to the cartoons that I think is appropriate to mention is that Tom was a little bit too nervous around uh the lady cat. What was her name? Fluffers or Fluffy?
I don't know her
And
name.
like
Doesn't matter.
he's
There's
always
a lady
trying
cat that they have.
in the cartoons, he's always trying to woo the lady cat. He's trying to put the moves
Right,
on. And in the movie, he was like nervous at one point. I'm like, that's not Tom is always like let's get after it. I don't know.
right. Yeah, I see. That's something I didn't know.
Like, dude,
But
haven't you seen that meme of like of Tom like with like the cowboy hat and he's like, you haven't seen that? I don't even know if I can show that. You need to see this, but I'll send it to you. It just I'm gonna see what the Tom.
I'm searching it. You don't have to search it. Oh, like his hat goes up or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
it's really
Anyways,
funny.
um, I think for its target audience, it's a really good movie.
It hit all the notes. Yeah, it's
However,
great. I even enjoyed.
but I think for like older fans, like when they were younger and they watched it, I know you were one of those, but I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it was like they could have. I don't know. I always like when kids' movies incorporate like adult humor and like make it fun to watch for the whole family. And
Yeah,
this one
they
was
did have a
more
couple
just
of
it was
moments
kind of, but it was more like I don't
just for
know,
kids. It was like
just for
it
kids.
was it was like, and I know that Tom and Jerry is out of reality, but like because they put it in the real world with real people, like the way that people interacted with each other, I'm like, this isn't real, you know. And also,
Yeah, it was
like
just very kid world. Like
this is my one big gripe about this is that it was like for like at least half the movie it wasn't Tom and Jerry, it was Tom or Jerry, and I hated that. I was like, this is not what it
yeah,
should be.
honestly, I wanted more like of the like
Of the
when
like of yeah, of them fighting, you know. I wanted more
yeah, or
animal
just like
tornadoes. I
goofy
know that there was a lot of them.
like when Tom was like on the telephone wire trying to get in or whatever the cable trying to
Yep,
get in
that part was great.
yeah, they should have had
I
like
wanted more of that.
six more of those like sequences where it's like goofy like sequences like that because
I'm with you
that's what Tom
100%.
and Jerry is, and it was more like
Tom or Jerry for a
I
little
did
while.
like
It was like Jerry wandering around, and then it was Tom wandering around,
yeah.
and then sometimes they'd meet. But it was really mostly about the humans. It wasn't really
Yeah,
about
I was
Tom
about
and
to say the
Jerry.
same thing. I was about to say the same thing.
That's my big critique. And I know that they were trying to like make it into something new and different, and I appreciate that. I think they did a really good job with it. Like obviously neither of us could do anything better, but like as we're reviewing this movie, I think it's appropriate for us to insert our opinions. And I wanted like it's Tom and Jerry. It's not Tom and Jerry and then like 30 other humans that we have to understand their
Tom and
relationships.
Jerry and like
Like in Tom and Jerry,
20-year-old girl.
in the cartoons, dude, like you just see legs of people. It's not
Yeah.
like
It
I don't
was like
know.
it wasn't from yeah, it was like cuz like the show was like it's like them, it's their point of view, like their world. Whereas this, you're like you felt like you were in the human world and you felt like the main character was the chick, was the girl. Not
And no, it like 100% was the girl. It was like mostly about her, like for real. And then like, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I thought that was dumb. I don't know. I didn't really. But then again, like, what do you? It's like a full length movie of Tom and Jerry. Like, what do you? How are they gonna make it? Like interesting
Yeah,
and
I know.
like a
I
theater,
understand.
like a theater worthy film. Which I mean, I don't know.
I know, man.
I don't know. I
I
just
know. I mean, like, and they were also trying to put it in the real world. Like, I'm 99% sure that they were trying to like not copy, but like they were trying to like take inspiration from the new SpongeBob movie where it was like kind of 3D, you know,
which one? Sponge Out
like
of Water or the other
all
one?
the
All of them. I feel like all of
no no
them now
no
they go to.
the newest SpongeBob where they're 3D. Like all of these new revamps of old cartoons, when they make it movies, they're trying to make them 3D, which I don't really understand. I think it'd be cooler just to make a cartoon,
Also, what I've
but I
seen
don't know. Maybe
but I haven't been to the movie theater in a long time. But 3D sucks.
yeah, I feel you, man. I agree.
When
Like when it opened, I was like, no. I was like, please don't. And then yeah, I don't know.
what opened?
When the movie opened and it was when the movie opened and it was 3D when it was 3D Jerry wandering around, I was like, this is
Oh
dumb.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah,
event
yeah, yeah,
then eventually it got me.
yeah.
I mean, dude, it was like the thing like when they were doing those gags and it was like half real stuff and like especially like the the Rube Goldberg device, like you know, like the thing that he makes in the hallway where like the candle lights the string and then the race car drives down. That
Yep.
was really cool,
Yeah,
especially
that was
because
cool.
like that was that was like mostly After Effects, which is crazy that they can do that now. And I don't know. It was a
Yeah.
good gag, but like there should have been more gags. I don't know. There should have been more gags.
Yeah. One thing though, like aside from like Tom and Jerry, I actually did like the message of this movie because it's something what I need to
Yeah,
it's what I need to hear right now.
yeah.
He was all like, I don't have any qualifications
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I don't have any qualifications, blah blah blah. Like when she's telling being honest and opening up to the guy, but then the guy was like, blah blah blah. And I was like, felt like he was talking to me. And I was just like, you know what?
No, I feel you. I actually, that I think that I think that
You know what
I
I'm
think that in a
saying?
weird way, I know exactly what you're saying. And I think that in a weird way, like the writers were trying to appeal to me and you, like kids that watched it when they were like 4 or 5 and are watching the new movie now. Um, like people that are like I don't like I'm applying to things that I'm not qualified for, but I know I can do, and like
Exactly.
that's just like the experience for a lot of
You're
young
not
people.
qualified on paper.
I mean, but I like I know I could do it.
Right.
So
Right.
I think like that was really the only time that the writers and the showrunners were like, hey, we're gonna throw a bone to the 20-something-year-old people watching this right now who used to love Tom and Jerry as a kid.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's
yeah,
basically
I
the whole
appreciate
movie
that.
is just her like, I gotta plan this wedding. I gotta get this mouse out of here. Come on, Tom, let's get him. And then they run around. But
Yeah,
like, I don't know. The whole movie, like, honestly, it did not need to be made, in my opinion. It's a money grab. Like it was. I didn't think it was. I think it
I don't know,
maybe did.
man. I loved it. I'm glad it was made.
I'm glad you loved it. I didn't love it. I
I'm
think
glad it got made. I'm glad it got made.
I think it will um allow for a new generation to like revisit Tom and Jerry, and they'll be like, yeah, Tom.
Maybe,
They'll just remember
maybe.
it as the movie and just forget. I don't know. You never know. It's like
Yeah,
their parents might be like, hey, this is like a show too. That's like much better
I
than
just don't know. I would it. I really I like. I'm glad that it got made, and I'm not gonna be like. I wish that it was a show though. I wish that they released episodes and it
like
wasn't
a
about
new.
these
Maybe
humans,
they
man.
will. Maybe they'll do a new Tom and Jerry show on HBO. Doubtful though.
I sure hope so. Also, I really this is another thing from the cartoons. A lot of like the reactions that Tom had, like the yeah yeah yeah, like that was
Yep.
like original. Those were the original sounds. I
Yeah,
love
yeah. I
that.
like that. That's cool. But
Hmm.
I'm trying to just nitpick the plot. Okay, yeah, but I'm gonna be very blunt here. The plot was a kid's plot. Like it's made for like
For
kid.
sure.
It's made for like it really is made for kids like 10 and under. Like it's not
Yeah, no, it's like 10 is even a little bit old in my opinion, but yeah,
right, right.
like
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 it's still
like
PG. It's only PG because like they fight each other. Like that's like
my little brother wouldn't want to
no.
watch
He'd
it.
be like,
Like
screw
this is
this. This
stupid.
is for like yeah,
Yeah, this is for kids. Yeah. My
yeah.
little brother's 11, by the way. But anyway,
Yeah, I don't think like an 11 to like
nobody. Yeah, like they wouldn't. Yeah, they wouldn't want to watch
you're
it.
only gonna watch this if you're older, like if you know and have seen like the original show and like took some interest in that. Like I don't think you're gonna
Yeah,
watch it, and
I
or
mean,
if you have kids.
this is like a. I think that this is a good comparison. Like, did you hear that like the Animaniacs had like a revamp on Hulu?
I did.
Okay, so that I think that's not made for kids. That's made for me and you. That's made for the kids that watched it in the mid to late
Well,
90s.
neither
Like
of the news.
that's who
Yeah,
it's for.
yeah. Go ahead, keep going.
That's who it's
Sorry.
for.
Right.
Like, yeah, I mean, that was really all I had to say. And like most of the jokes would go way above the head of even like a 10-year-old.
Right.
It's for us, and it's very. I liked it a lot. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
watched it yet, but I'm just saying.
I haven't watched it because I don't have Hulu.
Selfishly, I wish that Tom and Jerry did that for me. I wish that they were like, hey, this is a movie for 20-something-year-olds.
It's hard
You
to
know?
do that. It's hard to do that in a show where there's like no talking and like they just. I don't know. I know what you're saying though, but like think. That made me what you said. Think about like the newer SpongeBob's that come out. It's like,
Yep.
oh
Uh-huh.
my god.
It's not for kids
It's
anymore,
like
man.
I mean a kid could watch it, but like half the like an
It would just be
adult would
like,
yeah.
just go way, yeah, just over the head. I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. And
Um,
let's see. I'm just trying to think of some closing remarks here because we're just gonna talk in circles if we keep going.
yeah, I mean, one other thing that I didn't really love, I know that it was like cutesy, but like for a couple times and for a significant amount of times, those two times, Tom and Jerry were getting along, and I was like, nah,
Right.
nah, no, no. I was like, no, nah, 0%. And also like the gag is always that Jerry Jerry like tempts Tom into like causing a big mess, and then Tom gets the blame, and then Jerry just like walks off scot free. And in this, like they both took the blame, and I was like,
That's not how
that's
it
not how it
goes.
is. And I know that they were
Yeah.
trying to do something new. I know that they were trying to like make a new thing, but I was like, no, no, like that's not honest to the source material, especially like when they were like doing the whole tour of New York, and they were like, like when Kayla like makes
Right.
them get along, and she's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm gonna send you guys out on the day of the wedding. You're gonna have a day to yourselves where you can spend more time with each other and get along. And I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? And it was cute. Like like a part of me was like, that's really cool, and then another part of me was like, like, come on, that's not what we're here for. Maybe that's what people are here for if they haven't seen Tom and Jerry.
Dude,
Um,
I like the only honestly, dude, like the part that sticks out to me the most is when like Tom's in the rain on the wire. I already said this on the wires. Like
yeah, and
that's
then like the cardboard wings, that part
yeah,
was
like
tight
that's
when he met
that type of
Batman.
stuff. They didn't do that enough.
Yeah, we needed more. Yeah, it was like maybe a quarter of the movie was that, and like that's generous. I think it was really like an eighth to a 16th of the movie was those gags. It was
Yeah.
mostly about the humans and then like the setup.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they. I mean, I want them to make a show. I really, I would watch it. I don't know,
Yeah.
make a show, do it,
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say. I mean, like this
Yeah. I
is
don't
this
either.
isn't like as
Are we ready to rate it? I'm ready to rate it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to rate it. I'm
Oh,
ready.
you rate it first.
You,
Actually, I'll rate it first. 'Cause it's probably gonna be worse than yours.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I know what mine
so
is.
like
I don't
I
want mine to
since we've
influence your
gone
decision.
week to week, like I'm like the first movie I definitely should have rated higher based on like but anyways, I
What did you
based
rate
on
it again?
what
What did you rate the first one again?
like 3 out of 5. I should have given it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, for real. Okay, keep going.
But this, because of what it is, I give it a 3 out of 5
Okay.
for what it is. For like overall taking into account like
The humans.
the humans that watch it, like or the human part, and then like people that watch it. It's a family movie. It's super good for or for kids, not even for families. It's like a kids movie, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, on it, dude, adults, yeah, it's like not, I mean, the only way that as an adult you'd enjoy it is if you watched Tom and Jerry as a kid. Like that's
Yeah, or else
really
you're just
it.
gonna be like,
You,
this is so stupid.
I think that's why you like it less than I do. Like I
Right.
like it. I didn't know I was waiting for this, but I have apparently.
Yeah. Like
So
I
I
watched
give
the
it.
show. I would watch the show, but not like you. Like it was like, yeah.
I watched it religiously.
Yeah.
I had this box set DVD collection where Whoopi Goldberg like had like a preface at the very beginning about some of like the racism at the beginning of the Tom and Jerry
Yeah.
series.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the box that I had, and I watched it like back to back, and I just kept watching it forever.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5
Nice.
because I mean I liked it. I'm probably gonna watch it again. To be honest, I'm not like very intently, but I liked it. I'll put it on in the
Okay.
background when I'm doing something else.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it.
This movie made me think about just because like it's from like, and we were talking about Scooby Doo, but like the first live action Scooby Doo that they did with like, because it's like Hanna Barbera and like Warner Brothers, and I don't know if they haven't done a movie like this like with like animated figures, like very animated. Like obviously every single like freaking superhero movie
Dude,
now
what
has.
are you talking? Like, what about? I mean, I know that. I mean,
I'm talking about like an
Space
animated
Jam
like.
comes to mind. Space Jam comes
Yeah,
to
but it
mind.
hasn't
They
come
have
out.
done it
Oh, they're
before.
making a new one. That's right.
Yeah,
But
space.
no, I'm
Yeah, I don't
saying
know.
like
But
in recent years they have
yeah,
not made a movie like this where it's like a very animated thing in real life. Like I can't think of like like this is the first time they've done that in a while. Anyways,
it has been. It has definitely been a while, but there is like a precedent. You know, like Roger Rabbit. comes to mind too.
True.
And generally, I don't really like it when they put cartoons in the human world, except for Space Jam. Space Jam is the best. If you haven't seen Space Jam, definitely go watch that. I've seen
Bruh,
that many
I
times.
love Space Jam, and they're
And
coming
it
out.
holds up.
They're
It holds
coming
up.
out with the new one with LeBron this year.
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
I
on
didn't even know.
HBO Max as well. I
That's
actually
amazing.
think I think like even if they mess that up, it's still gonna be good. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that. We're definitely gonna have to review that one.
We will.
Yeah,
We will.
whenever that
Okay.
comes out, for sure.
Okay, Sam gives Tom and Jerry the movie. We're on a time crunch now. Sam gives Tom and Jerry the movie a 4 out of 5. Tyler gives it a 3 out of 5.
I definitely, if you watch Tom and Jerry as a kid, go watch it. If you have children, definitely show it to them if they're under 10, because they'll like it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Really though, it's a hardcore kids movie. It's not for anyone but kids, really. Except people that maybe
Yeah, it's
watched it.
true.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's true. I'm with you.
It's not like Shrek, where Shrek is for everyone. Like,
Oh
dude,
yeah,
I might watch
no,
Shrek. I might watch Shrek later. I haven't seen Shrek in a long time.
Shrek is definitely a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So that's our review.
That's our review.
Next week I'm picking a movie.
Mm-hmm. What are you picking,
and,
Sam?
I want to watch a horror movie. I know that it's a big jump from Tom and Jerry to like a horror movie.
Yeah, I haven't
but
watched
I
a
think,
horror movie in a while. I'm down. But
I
like,
think it's
is it?
time.
You should choose a new one. Have you not chosen one yet? It's okay if you haven't.
I mean, honestly, I haven't, but now I'm like, I this one looks really good. That's on. Um. Okay, it's called His House, and it's on Netflix.
Is it new?
Yeah, it just came out. I mean, it came out in 2020. Is that not new enough for you?
No, yeah, let's do it. It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. We'll watch it. But like, I think we should. I think we should in the future try and like review a movie like right around when it comes out.
Okay.
That's just what I think, because like that's what when people like they search for movie reviews when it's like a new movie.
Dude, have you seen Scary Movie 5?
I think so. It's like hella old now. It's from like 4 years ago. No, it's from from 8 years ago.
Yeah. Mac Miller's in it. That's
I've seen that one. I've seen all of them.
I've definitely seen it too. Yeah,
I've seen all of them.
I don't know. If you hadn't seen it,
Let's watch that one again.
Okay,
let's watch that one.
Yeah, we're watching His House, which is on Netflix. This has been Two Buds Movie Reviews, reviewing Tom and Jerry's.
Tom and Jerry the movie with humans.
And I think if you've made it this far, it's time for me to tell you that each week we're picking a new movie. So next week is me picking the movie, and so next week
is me picking the movie. Well, after yeah.
You know what I'm saying, dude. Let me finish my thought. Jesus, come on. Okay, like, when it's my movie, which is next week, I'm gonna like Tyler did this time. I'm gonna like list the producers, the directors, and the actors. I think on the second episode, I didn't really explain that. I was just like, okay, let's start talking about the actors, and it was just kind of unclear. So, if you made it this far, I'm trying to be as clear as possible. And next week, I'm going to be the one that's rattling off those directors and actors and producers and all that jazz.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
What are we watching next week? This house?
His house.
His house.
His house. It's on Netflix.
Okay, His House on Netflix.
All right,
guys. Two Buds Movie Reviews. Peace
out.
We'll
catch you later.
We'll catch you on the
Peace.
flip. See you next week.